What if I told you that a market trader, a woman, not from the royal family, she changed the destiny of a whole empire? I am Joana. I uncover Africa's untold stories and help you heal through storytelling. So today we are going to talk about Lady Emotan. So often, all the stories, great histories we hear are all centered around men, the great kings and their conquests, what they achieved. We always tend to forget the deeds of women, how they influenced society, because we've put value in probably the things that are not so peaceful in society. So we elevate the heroes of war. Is war peaceful? We elevate the heroes of conquerors. Is that peaceful? So this story today is so important because it draws our attention to a woman called Lady Emotan. She lived around the 14th-15th century in the Benin Empire, now Benin in Edo State in Nigeria, and she was a market trader. So Emotan's story is so important because it gives women, young girls, young women a role model in some of her deeds, like someone to emulate, to identify with, to know, oh, okay, we had strong women in our history, but this story is so juicy. I always say stories are juicy when there's a bit of intrigue, and in this story there's espionage. Like, there should be a film on Emotan's story now. So Emotan, she was a market trader, very successful, and she was trading at like the main market called the Oba market, which is the king market, and it's close to the palace. And in that market, rumors will fly around, right? It was like the gossip space of the empire, so you could get information. And Emotan needed to know logistics, manage her trade. She needed to know how to negotiate to be able to build a successful career as a market trader, because later she even started an orphanage. She'll be gathering like street children, orphans, and she will give them a shelter, giving them dignity. That was her humanitarian activity alongside her economic activities. Now, during this time, the empire was not very stable because the reigning king at that time, King Oroburi, passed away. But before he passed away, there are different historical accounts. But one that I really think is probably closer to fact is that the royal lineage of two brothers, Prince Ogun and his younger brother Wafiokun, these two princes were sent on exile before the passing away of the king Oroburi. So when he passed away, the crown was vacant, and the nobles, they wanted a royal lineage. The rightful heir, which is Prince Ogun, he then heard about the passing of the king and that the crown is now empty. Okay, he sent his younger brother to go back to Benin, sneak into Benin, meet some specific nobles, and inquire if they can come back from their exile. Now, his brother Owafiokun got to Benin. When he got there, human factor, human condition entered, greed. He was like, why will I pass this message on? Why don't I just become king myself? So he now told the dukes that, since they left Benin, since they left on exile, he never set eyes on his elder brother anymore, Prince Ogu. So he was now trying to inspire them to crown him king. So there were some dukes that were like, but if Prince Ogu is demised, let us see his body. Can we look for his remains and give him a befitting burial of a prince? Meanwhile, Prince Ogu in his exile was waiting, and he was now getting rumors that, your brother Wafiokun is in the royal palace. He might become king. Prince Ogun was like, I'm going to Benin. But if I go to Benin, just put yourself in his perspective now. His brother never came back to tell him that, even the dukes are willing to accept them back. So he didn't know what was really happening. Was that rumors that his own brother will betray him, or was his brother in captivity now and this is just a trap to get him back? So he sneaked into Benin, and of course he knows where to go now. The marketplace where the gist is flying around. So he got to the marketplace and his path crossed with Lady Emotan. She recognized him. This is our prince. Okay. She gave him shelter and she started informing him. Any gist she hears outside in the market, she would tell him. Through this procedure, Prince Ogun started to build his own plot, because now he understood fully well that his brother Wafiokun was betraying him. Now his brother got information that his elder brother Prince Ogun is in Benin Empire. The dukes probably, I don't know, maybe they got information, that's why they were insisting on finding his body. But they were like, we want to be certain that your elder brother, who's the rightful heir, is no more alive. Wafiokun was, the best thing now is to kill him, assassinate him right now, and then we can show them his body. As he was plotting that with his own loyal people, Emotan got this information. This is where she was really like a spy, espionage. Emotan came, told Prince Ogun, look, your brother is plotting to assassinate you. With the help of Emotan, gathering more allies, Prince Ogun was able to overthrow his brother, defeat his plot, then kill his brother. That's the part I didn't like in the story. Most people kill themselves, but well, that's how you get power. You take it. Good. So Prince Ogun was now crowned the new Oba of Benin. So when Prince Ogun was crowned, he was crowned Obaewa Ogidigan. Ogidigan meaning great. Obaewa the Great. And he was known as a king that was a magician, a warrior, and a traveler. He traveled many African kingdoms. Prince Ogun, now Obaewa, King Ewa the Great, when he ascended the throne, shortly after Lady Emotan passed away, he was so saddened and wanted to commemorate her deeds for the empire. Not only for supporting him and being loyal to make him king, but also for her humanitarian service with the orphanage. So his commemoration was to plant a very sacred tree, and I think around 1954, a bronze statue of Lady Emotan was made. So Emotan's story actually represents women's role in the social political life in society building, especially especially in non-royal capacities. So today we have many young women in different African countries really changing the game in their spaces, be it humanitarian space, political space, societal space, spiritual spaces. Their roles are so important and we must continue to elevate their stories. So I want to know your take on the story, how women are strategists, humanitarians, power brokers. Don't forget, you want to support our work, continue to like, share, drop your comment. That was it, the session of another Africa's Untold Story. I am Joana, and I help you heal through storytelling.